Hi, I'm Michael Kurosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kurosh, and today we are in Montecito, California with my dear friend Adam McKaig, which I know for a really long time, and we had him last week. We had a good conversation, and I'm sure you watched that episode, and today you're going to give us a tour of this beautiful home.
I am. Now this home sits in Montecito on 20 acres.
20 acres?
20 acres. Which
Not 2 acres, 2/10 of an acre, 20 acres.
2-0.
That's very big for
You
Montecito.
have a lot of elbow room with the most extreme views in all of Santa Barbara. The house was built by a noted architect, Bob Easton.
Oh yeah, I do know Bob Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want to show it to you guys.
No, there you go. I'm excited. I've been to many homes, but he says this view is not to beat. So let's go see it.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go. Thank you, Adam. Wow, this is a grand entrance.
Isn't it?
It's beautiful. And I can see what you're talking about, the view, but let's keep that one for a little bit later. Let's go see the living room. Yes, let's see it. So this is a beautiful living room.
It is. And look at the stone fireplace. I think the sandstone was actually quarried here. Look at the beams.
Those beams are ginormous.
They are.
And they're
It's a
real beams, they're
deal.
not fake beams.
Yep,
And
yep.
you don't see it too much in today's construction. Those trees are gone, it seems like it. But that fireplace is stunning. Look at that.
Isn't that amazing?
It's beautiful, and actually it's a beautiful living room, and I think has a class to it, but it's very contemporary as well.
Yes.
It could fly as a very modern home at the same time. I remember those rugs. Those are Tibetan, and they're beautiful. We used to make those in the 90s and 2000s. It's
These-
beautiful.
Your rugs?
Yes.
Oh,
And
small world.
we used to manufacture them in Nepal. Well, beautiful pieces.
Wow.
And a lot of natural light.
It is.
I think that's a good selling point for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And just the openness, the airiness, the volume is huge. It lives like a larger house, but we're under 10,000 square feet.
Oh, that's a small home. You're right.
Right.
It's beautiful. So where do we go from here?
Let's go into the family room.
I'd love to see it.
Well, these are solid wood doors.
These are heavy doors. Yes. Got stuck there. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful view when you're sitting and having your breakfast.
Oh yeah, and every room has a way to get out to that beautiful view and backyard.
And there's beautiful chandeliers, French, and then those beautiful old style Edison bulbs.
yeah.
Yes.
They're great. And again,
Every little touch in the house has been perfectly done.
yeah. We have the big, heavy hand-hewn beams carried throughout.
And anchored nicely. And this is the kitchen. Oh my goodness. I heard actually two things make the house sell faster. It's the kitchen and the bathroom. Is that true?
That is true.
Is that the two things that I think the females are most attracted to find out? So yes, that's actually literally the longest island I have ever seen. Probably can have 30 people around it. It's beautiful. It's very big, but actually feels very warm and inviting.
It is. It is.
And they have high-end appliances in there. I see there's Sub-Zero kitchen and wine cooler for sure, and they have a decor stove. It's very well put together. As you mentioned, probably Bob Easton did the whole layout.
And again, wrought iron, man, just the details.
Yes,
Throughout.
Solid.
On and on and on.
And then it's a beautiful place to sit down and look at the view and enjoy your breakfast or a meal with the family. Very nice. And what are you doing here? We are very lucky in our area that people actually do this. There's a lot of places in the United States that you don't see stoneworks because the masons don't exist there. I think this goes back to our Italian heritage, which Montecito got settled first. The Italians came over and they brought this technique. It's fantastic looking.
Beautiful.
And we don't need it that often in here in Santa Barbara, but it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
A lot of people convert it to actually gas burning, which this one is. It's not wood burning.
Yes, yes.
Very nice. I'm dying to go outside.
Man, this view
I mean,
is just beckoning.
this is probably the dollar selling the house. That's it. So
Let's go.
you lead. Go ahead. I follow you. Okay.
See, look at this.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Isn't this wild?
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When they say top of the world, that's what they mean. It is, I mean, probably you have a few clients down there, don't you?
I'm not going to say who they are, but Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah, the Prince, Katy Perry, they're all down there. We're above them.
You said who they are, but you didn't say where they live.
Yeah. I'm not going to say where they live at all. You know, everybody has their own privacy, but everybody wants to be here.
Yes, why not? Look at this. And we have today the cruise ship visiting too.
Wow.
Look at that. This is a beautiful infinity pool and has writings in it, and I see little birds. You have a jacuzzi here, we have the entertainment, we have the fire pit, we have the outdoor barbecue, outdoor dining, sitting, the grass area. You have everything to have a big family here. It's a beautiful compound, and it is actually doesn't look as big. You say it's 10,000 square feet, which is ginormous actually,
It's
but
under 10,000, so
it doesn't look that big. It feels warm and inviting. I think some good family gonna enjoy it for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a special place.
It is a special place. Look at this. And I want to thank you so very much for showing us this beautiful property and explaining to us all these little fine details of it. I'm looking forward to have you next season again.
Oh, yay, Michael. This is
Looking forward, seriously.
Thank you
I appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed this episode with Adam. We will be back with more Design Santa Barbara shortly. This week on Design FYI, we're going to talk about sofas and the unknown mistakes people make. Did you know average American spends 46 minutes a day in a car? But they spend 5 hours and 4 minutes on average on a sofa. So why would you go out there and spend tens of thousands of dollars for something you use for 46 minutes and then go ahead and buy something cheap that you sit on it for 5 hours and 4 minutes? At Santa Barbara Design Center, we create your custom sofa that is made for you specifically and to your shape and size and comfort and your family. So when you're sitting and watching TV or talking and conversing with your friends, you're sitting on actually something that represents you. Your car represents you, why shouldn't your sofa? Thank you for joining us on Design FYI this week, and please come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 4th and Olive, and let me help you find the right sofa for you and your family. This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about rug cleaning and restoration. A fine rug is a family treasure often passed on from generation to generation. Rugs need to be properly taken care of to ensure their survival and protect your investment. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we are the foremost experts in professional cleaning, repairing, and preserving your rugs. Rugs should be hand washed every 3 to 5 years to maintain structure. When was the last time you washed your rugs? Proper cleaning can extend the longevity of your rug, whereas steam cleaning can damage it. Restorations by Rugs & More include hand stitching, fixing fringes and sides, and reviewing worn pile. For the finest restoration and cleaning, bring your rugs into Rugs & More at Santa Barbara Design Center today, 410 Olive Street. This week on Michael's Minutes, we are going to talk about sectionals. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we will custom build a sectional to your specifications at our factory right here in California. No room is too big or too small. Our line of comfort sectionals are built to the exact size and shape you need for your room. Let you and your family enjoy the luxury of angel hair wrap, the most comfortable seating in the world. Choose from multiple colors and stain-resistant fabrics that can withstand children, pets, and spills. But don't just take my word for it. Come into Santa Barbara Design Center at 410 Olive Street and feel the comfort of a new sectional for yourself. Today on Appraisals, surprise, my favorite thing in the world, rugs. Here we are. Again, I love things that have a history to tell, there's connections, there's this and that. So this particular one is Antique Coombe. This is the early ones. They start in the city of Coombe. They brought weavers from another town because weaving was not indigenous to this city. So they brought weavers from Tabriz, and they start working with silk. Is a town in central Iran. Nowadays is most famous for silk, but back then it was just, this was a prototype, for instance. I sold this particular rugs over 30 years ago to one of my mentors. This gentleman used to be the chairman of the board of one of the local banks, and I was a very young, I was in my early 20s, and he kind of liked me, and he used to give me lessons of how to treat people, how to deal with situations, and so on. And then one day he came along and says, I want to buy the best rug you have. I go like, whoa, what is the best rug I have? I had a bunch of antique rugs, This particular one, I had extended myself and bought it, and it is just a stunning piece. So I ended up buying it. God bless his soul, he passed away a few years ago, and his wife graciously sold it back to me. Anyway, this is a tree of life. As you can see, the tree has the veins that is very artistic. You can see coming up all the way, and has the ducks in the pond down there. You have the woodpecker, you have the pheasants, and then you have these little peacocks. You can see they are in love, and it is a fabulous thing. Look at these beautiful curves, the little flowers. The intricacy on this piece is amazing. On the top, the weaver was very proud and wove the city, which was Coombe, and Mehpur is the name of the weaver. Engraved it in there, and it's gonna be there until the rug is gonna be there. It's in mint condition. It is mint condition. 1940s, nowadays is over 80 years old. And it has been taken care of because a special piece has been on the wall, and it's, to me, that is most interesting, most beautiful painting. Rivals classical paintings to me. I mean, who's gonna do this thing? I know how to paint. This thing, I don't think I'm gonna get off with the first line in like a year. So anyway, it's a beautiful piece, and I cherish it. It brings me good memories. I appraised this in today's fair market value, $10,000 to $12,000. Again, thank you for joining us on Appraisals. Looking forward to see you in Santa Barbara Design Center. Come and check this beautiful piece out. Today on Michael's Minute, I'm gonna talk about what makes a good sofa versus a great sofa. This one is called Malibu, and this is called Malibu 2.0. What makes the difference is, for the Malibu, we use industry standard wrap, which is a polyester. For the 2.0, we use a blend of angel hair, which is a synthetic down, and down itself. On top of that, we use two different fabrics for them. For the regular Malibu, we use 100% polyester fabric, which is very long lasting and has 30,000 double rub, which is very durable. For the 2.0, we use the highest quality linen in the market. I would like to invite you to come and see these in person. Come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. Today on Design FYI, we're going to talk about what not to buy when you're going shopping for rugs. Most big outlets or national chains, they sell nowadays hand-tufted rugs. This sounds like it's hand knotted, it's done by hand, but actually they are not. It's called hand-tufted and is actually a gun that rolls the wool around the warp, and they are not good rugs at all. So this is a sample we're having here for you to see. Anything that has a backing like this, flip your rugs over at home, see if it has a backing, is absolutely not good. So what it does is it hides what they did below this thing, which is a latex glue, which actually is toxin. And if you have got any rugs over the net, I hate to say it, over the net, because it's easy to sell and they're inexpensive, you buy these things over the internet. So when it comes to your house, they smell. Have you noticed that? They smell more like a gasoline or more like a diesel because they don't let the latex cure. And the latex that glues this wool to this backing smells a lot. On top of that, they shed quite a lot. The wool is cheap because they need to be inexpensive, and they shed. I would not recommend you to get anything, again, that has a backing and is glued, because it comes apart very easily. It is temporary. It is not a green product because they wear very quickly, end up in the fill, and just basically as a landfill junk we are adding to our planet. The things I would recommend you to get, unlike these things that have backing, is the rugs that they have nuts to them. So as what to buy, I highly recommend you to get some rugs that they are hand knotted. And how you can see, flip it to the back, and you can see the knots are done individually, and each one is slightly different than the next one because they're done by hand, and the intensity of the wool and the pull they have, the weaver, makes them look different. Also, the sides are done by hand. That you can see very easily. If you want to buy a real rug, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center and I can gladly help you. Thank you for joining us on Design FYI, Santa Barbara Design Center, Fort Olive. My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today. This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about modern and transitional rugs. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we have over 1,000 modern and transitional rugs at any given time in various sizes and colors. A modern or transitional rug can completely transform your living space. It can make a cold room comfortable or balance out an uneven contrast. We can also custom make the modern rug of your dreams, designed to your specification, taste, and color. And at Santa Barbara Design Center, we can do it faster, better, for less. That's why the top designers in the world use our modern and transitional rugs. To see our vast collection or start designing your custom masterpiece, come visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are visiting the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Chichen Itza in the Yucatan Peninsula on the east coast of Mexico. It's named one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Let's start with a little intro into the great Mayan culture and architecture. And then we take a look at the main pyramid in Chichen Itza called El Castillo. The Maya are an indigenous people of Mesoamerica. The ancient Mayan civilization lived in sections of present-day Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala. And archaeological records show tribes dating back as far as 10,000 years ago. The Archaic period before 2000 BC saw the first developments in agriculture and the earliest villages. The pre-classic period saw the establishment of the first complex societies in the Maya region and the cultivation of crops including maize, beans, squashes, and chili pepper. The first Maya cities developed around 750 BC, and by 500 BC, these cities possessed monumental architecture, including large temples with elaborate stucco facades. Beginning around 250 AD, the Classic period is largely defined as when the Maya were raising sculpted monuments and developed many city-states linked by a complex trade network. Maya cities tended to expand organically. The city centers comprised ceremonial and administrative complexes, surrounded by an irregularly shaped sprawl of residential districts. Different parts of a city were often linked by causeways. Architecturally, city buildings included palaces, pyramid temples, ceremonial ball courts, and structures specially aligned for astronomical observations. The Maya elite were literate and developed a complex system of hieroglyphic writings. Theirs was the most advanced writing system in the pre-Columbian Americas. Maya recorded their history and ritual knowledge in screenfold books. Rule during the Classic period centered on the concept of the divine king, who was thought to act as a mediator between the mortals and the supernatural realm. A prospective king was expected to be a successful war leader as well as a ruler. The Maya developed a highly complex series of interlocking ritual calendars, including the infamous long-form calendar that ended on December 12, 2012. Though initially thought to be the foreshadowing of a cataclysmic event, this end date was merely a mathematical certainty. Despite building a vast and vibrant society, much of the Mayan society was wiped out by invading Spanish forces in the 16th century and beyond. The war and disease wrought upon them destroyed what may have been one of the great cultures of the Western Hemisphere. Thank you for joining us on Design Center Ballroom. Today we are visiting the Mayan ruins of Chichen Itza on the Yucatan Peninsula. Next, we will learn about the function of coracle buildings, the Temple of Warriors, and Thousand Columns Complex. Please join us. Chichen Itza was a major focal point in the northern Maya lowlands from the late Classic to post-Classic periods. The site exhibits a multitude of architectural styles, reminiscent of styles seen in central Mexico and of the Puuc and Chenes styles of the northern Maya lowlands. The presence of central Mexican style was once thought to have been representative of direct migration or even conquest from central Mexico. Chichen Itza was one of the largest Maya cities, and it was likely to have been one of the mythical great cities or tolons referred to in later Mesoamerican literature. The city may have had the most diverse population in the Maya world, a factor that could have contributed to the variety of architectural styles on the site. The Maya name Chichen Itza means at the mouth of the well of the Itza. Several archaeologists in the late 1980s suggested that unlike previous Maya tribes of the early Classic period, Chichen Itza may not have been governed by an individual ruler or a single dynastic lineage. Instead, the city's political organization could have been instructed by a system characterized as rulership through council composed of members of elite ruling lineage. Chichen Itza was a major economic power in the northern Maya lowlands during its height. Chichen Itza was able to obtain locally unavailable resources from distant areas such as obsidian from central Mexico and gold from southern Central America. Between AD 900 and 1050, Chichen Itza expanded to become a powerful regional capital controlling north and central Yucatan. It established Isla Cerritos as a trading post. Chichen Itza's decline may have occurred around the 13th century, when it was conquered by another tribe. Some 200 years later, when the Spanish came to the Yucatan, Chichen Itza was annexed peacefully at first, but resistance eventually led to its abandonment and recapture. By the 1600s, the area was used by the Spanish as a cattle ranch. By the middle of the 19th century, the invention of photography allowed archaeologists to share pictures of the site with the world. The subsequent interests helped fuel numerous expeditions to explore and catalog the site. In 1894, the United States Consul to Yucatan, Edward Herbert Thompson, purchased the Hacienda Chichen, which included the ruins of Chichen Itza. For 30 years, Thompson explored the ancient city. His discoveries included the earliest dated carving upon a lintel in the temple of the initial series and the excavation of several graves in the high priest's temple. In 1926, the Mexican government charged Edward Thompson with theft, claiming he stole the artifacts from the cenote sagrado and smuggled them out of the country. The government seized the Hacienda Chichen. Thompson, who was in the United States at the time, never returned to Yucatan. Subsequent expeditions were sponsored by the National Geographic Society and overseen by the Mexican government. Let's look at more of the fascinating locations at this historic site. Today, the ruins of Chichen Itza are federal property, and the site's stewardship is maintained by Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History. The land under the monuments had been privately owned until March of 2010, when it was purchased by the state of Yucatan. To see this location in person is truly transformative. With over 2 million visitors annually, I'm honored to add it to Design Santa Barbara's list of great locations around the world. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode of Design Santa Barbara and looked into rich history and architecture of Mayan culture of Mexico. I encourage you to visit Chichen Itza and enrich your soul and mind.